What if Bach was a music producer? Have you ever wondered what it would be like if musicians of the past had today's tech? What would they make? How would it sound like? Would it even be good? Well, before we get into that, we need to know, who was Bach? In a small German town, a little boy named Johann Sebastian Bach was born. His whole family was musicians. It seemed normal for everyone in his family to either play an instrument or sing. Like all great superheroes, he lost his parents at only 9 years old.
Batman.
His older brother Christoph took him under his wing. Luckily, Christoph was an organist at a nearby church, and there, Bach started to really learn music. He learned how to play the organ, which is this big hunk of pipes. He also learned the clavichord, a smaller keyboard instrument. He was such a fast learner, he fell in love with playing them. It was clear at a young age that he wasn't just good, he was amazing. As he got older, he realized, wait, I gotta make a living off of this? He started getting jobs everywhere. He would compose for orchestras, teach music, and play in churches. But that man was hard-headed. He would argue with his bosses just because he wanted to play his music, and obviously they wanted to hear their music. Bach's music was very different from what was popular at the time. The level of genius that he had in his music went over most people's heads. He believed in his music, and he didn't care what other people thought. His fighting spirit would fit perfectly with today's SoundCloud and YouTube rappers. However, in this video, we're not focused on rap. We're focused on the music behind it. For that, we need a producer. Today's producers are known for their fast production speed, unique sound design, and catchy melodies. To be a producer, you need to have creative vision. Luckily for him, Bach's creativity was groundbreaking for this time, and most definitely would carry over into this time. The most important skill of a producer is the ability to use a DAW. That's short for Digital Audio Workstation. You're probably familiar with some of the most popular ones like Ableton Live, FL Studios, Logic, and Pro Tools. In the music production world, a DAW is similar to pen and paper. Some people like to write with pen, some pencil, some even like markers, but at the end of the day, what matters is what gets written down. If Bach had the same technology we have today, his creativity would skyrocket. Besides the massive adjustment to the modern technology, he would pick up the skills. What sets apart your average producer from a platinum-selling producer is collaboration. Every single piece of the production process can be broken down into individual pieces. Someone might make a melody and send that melody loop to another producer who adds drums to it. They might send that rough draft to another producer to add special effects and atmospheres. Eventually, all of those get sent to a mixing engineer who takes all of the tracks and makes them sound best together. That then gets exported, and the file gets handed off to a mastering engineer, who then adds even more flavor to the overall mix down of the tracks. There's a lot of collaboration, and Bach was really harsh on the people he worked with. He couldn't deal with stupidity or anything else he saw lesser. It would be a struggle for him to work with others simply because it was hard for him to hand off what he was working on to another person. Bach would want to work on his song until completion, even if that meant having to learn each step of the production and the mixing process. Bach would not put up with people who tried to take shortcuts. Regardless of how Bach would create when put in the modern world, we can't leave out the impact that he has made on our modern music. Bach has been used thousands of times in education to teach the basics and fundamentals of music. I'm not Bach, but when you factor in his musical style, his time period, and his musical techniques, I think this is what Bach as a music producer would sound like. What modern artist would you like to see Bach collaborate with? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below.